Some of my favorite videos on YouTube are watching you guys show off your stereo systems and your music rooms, so today I'm going to show you where I listen to music. What's up, record nerds? It's Uncle Paul coming to you from the live music capital of the world, Austin, Texas. And today I'm going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to take a look at where I do the majority of my music listening. If some of you have watched my videos before, you'll know I did a quick music room tour where I listened to my 45s, and I've never linked a video to another video, but I'm going to try and put like a link, because I've seen people do it before, like put a link up to the corner so you can watch that if you're interested. But my system is directly in front of me or behind me or whatever, and some of you might find it a little bit weird because I have a small one-bedroom apartment and I currently have 4 turntables set up, 2 of which are in my living room. And I don't just have 2 turntables, I actually have 2 full stereo systems, which, believe me, it's weird, but if there's something I love as much as records, it's also to tinker with stereo equipment. I love records and I love music, but I also love sound and I love good sound. And I love to tinker with it and see what sounds best. So I've kind of got 2 setups going on in my living room. Not only do I like to tinker with sound, but what happens if one of my turntables goes down and I don't have any way to listen to records? So with that being said, today I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to take a look at my system and talk about it a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so this is my system from my couch, and I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but my apartment is extremely thin, meaning that the speakers at this sitting position are only about 6.5 feet away from me, which isn't optimal. So I generally sit in this chair over here and reposition the speakers, and I'll show you a picture of that. And then upstairs here, we just have a television monitor. I don't watch too much TV. That's mostly for watching YouTube videos and music videos, and the occasional movie. But we'll get up here and go top to bottom, left to right, I guess. So on the left side of my system here, this is my first turntable and my absolute favorite Pioneer turntable. This is the PL518, and this is a manual turntable with a couple of special features. It has an auto start function, so when you start to move the tone arm over, the platter starts to spin, and then the record comes off. The turntable arm resets itself after the end of the record, so it's great for when you have people over or you're feeling a little bit lazy. And on this one, I've got the, what is that, the Nagoka MP110 on here, and I found that that cartridge is extremely forgiving. So this will be the table that I would play some of my maybe not so pristine records on, some records that may have a little bit of noise problems. They play pretty well on this table. And then up over here I have like this little IKEA $7 gooseneck lamp that I've attached to the wall here, which actually is a clip, but it works really well for 2 turntables because I can flip the light back and forth between my 2 decks. All right, moving right along. Under that, I absolutely love this receiver. This is the Pioneer SX950. And these were built in 78, 79 Pioneer. The build quality on these is just fantastic. I mean, the feel of the knobs. I mean, these things are they just clunk. I absolutely love the feel and look of this, and it sounds fantastic. This is pretty high-powered for my apartment. This is 85 watts per channel, but it has nice wood accents. I absolutely love listening to it and love looking at it. The tuner is fantastic. on this one, and it also has a mono switch, and I don't have a mono cartridge, so it's fun to be able to play with the sounds on this. All right. Coming down to the next. I absolutely love this baby. This gets a lot of play in my apartment. This is the Pioneer RT707. And this is a direct drive 7-inch reel-to-reel, and it is built like a brick shithouse. There's only one belt on this thing, and it's on the counter. It's extremely easy to service. It sounds fantastic. The only downside to this is that it only plays up to 7.5 inches per second, not 15 inches per second. And it doesn't take 10-inch reels, but I love the low profile on it. And I added these little wooden cheeks on here to kind of match it up with the rest of the system. I don't know if you can hear the tunes in the background, but we're listening to a little Temptation. And this is the Francis Bay Orchestra. A little bit of exotica there. All right, where are we at? Getting down to the bottom here. That first black bar is just a Furman power conditioner where I plug everything in. And then below that, this is a commercial use Marantz DVD player, which does the duties for my CDs. It's a PMD 500D. Nothing special, but it works great for the few CDs that I play. And I had David over at Nice Racks build me this nice enclosure, this walnut enclosure for it, which has got 2 rack unit spaces in there, so fits them in there nicely. And then way down on the bottom here, I've got the TEC TC7220. And what this is it's an amplifier and speaker switch, which allows me to listen to either of my 2 amplifiers on the speakers. And I used to have a second set of speakers in the living room as well, but decided to remove them due to space, and I can always bring them back in and swap out if I'd like. And right next to that, I have a TEC TC7240. And this is an auxiliary switch, and this is great because this allows me to listen to all of my sources on either of my amplifiers. So that is stereo system number 1. And moving along to number 2, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is also a direct drive table. Okay. Turntable number 2. This is my absolute favorite turntable that I've ever owned. And this is a micro Seiki Solid 5, built around 1978. And this is a belt drive turntable. It sounds absolutely fantastic. It's a pleasure to use. And I've got a Grado 8MZ stylus on this. I don't know if I can get this to focus or not. I doubt it. But we're trying. Fantastic turntable, and the Grado 8MZ cartridge is just spectacular. Down below that, I have my new Life amplifier. I don't ever imagine myself getting rid of this. This is the Dynaco VTA ST70, and this amplifier is 35 watts per channel. And it's kind of a reimagined original Dynaco ST70 amplifier that has been built and designed by Bob Latino. And I believe his website is tubesforhifi.com. Super tiny package, really, really heavy. And I've done some tube rolling on this and decided to go with these KT66 Gold Lion tubes. And it is warm and spacious and sounds fantastic. So that's my VTA ST70 amplifier. Moving down below that, this is kind of a new addition, and I had a fairly expensive custom-built preamplifier sitting down here, and you've seen that if you watched my other video of my music room tour, but I've replaced that with this Schiit Saga Plus preamplifier with a tube buffer and the Schiit Mani preamp. And I don't know how to explain to you, but for the price, this equipment sounds incredible. This preamp, both of these preamps are extremely quiet. The volume controls work fantastic. It does what it's supposed to do. And on top of that, me being somebody who's had vintage equipment for pretty much most of my life, having a remote with a volume control on it has been incredible. So that's the Schiit Mani and the Schiit Saga Plus. Coming in below that, and I don't know if you can really see this, but that is my streamer and DAC, and that is built by Blue Sound, and it's the Node 2i. And it's got a little screen on top, but to be honest with you, I don't really need to access it, and that allows me to listen to Spotify or Tidal, and I just keep a tablet by the couch, and that's how I listen to my streamed music. And below that, I have my Akai tape deck. This is the CS7030, nothing fancy, but it gets the job done for the handful of tapes that I have. So that's my second rack setup. And for those of you who own vintage equipment, you know how difficult it is to find racks that will hold all of your stuff. And what I did is I just got wire racks, and I got these butcher block tops. And for the turntables, I just put some pads, some rubber and cork pads to isolate them. And it does the job. No issues with sound. And last but not least, these are fairly new to my system, probably a little bit over a year. These are the Zoo Audio Omen Dirty Weekends. And I'm in love with these speakers. They are extremely sensitive. They sound great. I don't foresee myself getting rid of these anytime soon. So, there you have it. Just kind of a brief look at my system here. I'll back right up. And back to the couch. Whew, I'm tired after that. So there you go. There's my current system as is. All right, so there you have it, folks. You now know how I listen to music on a pretty regular basis. I'd say, 90% of the time I'm listening to music, I'm doing it on that system. So I'd love to hear some feedback. Do any of you have the same turntables, the same amplifiers, any of the same equipment I do, and what are your opinions of it? I know a lot of folks did a room tour for Mr. Hall of Fame, but if you didn't, I would love to see your rooms. It's a lot of fun to see what you guys have. So with that being said, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Sunday or whatever day you're watching this, and I'll see you real soon. Take care.